Hi, it's been a while since I made a video on YouTube. It's a perfect day for a motorcycle ride, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I wanted to make this video talking about a trip I took. Actually, there were two trips. One was mandatory, and the other kind of facilitated the whole thing working. So yeah, let's ride.
I've been riding motorcycles for almost 50 years, and in all that time I've seen just about every kind of bad road and hazardous condition you can imagine. But in 2023, my life took a turn into a kind of dark place. And at first, it didn't involve motorcycles. It's weird. Getting sick can sneak up on you. I once heard that if you wanted to boil a frog, you can't just throw it in a pot of hot water. It'll just jump out. But if you put it in room temperature water and slowly turn the heat up, the frog won't jump out until it's too late. He won't even know what's happening. Well, that's sort of like getting sick, I suppose. Especially if the sickness happens over months or years. You just get used to whatever hurts and move on. I've never been one to obsess over my personal well-being. I guess you gotta be a little thick-skinned to ride motorcycles in the first place.
There are times when life comes at you so fast and so unexpectedly that you cannot and will not be able to prepare or get ready for the road that lies ahead. And perhaps what really matters in those times is, well, I kind of think it's something like maybe muscle memory. Something in us, something instinctual, something that comes naturally, or maybe it's something that we've learned along the way. Either way, metaphorically speaking, I was headed down a long road, and it was without a map and no GPS, no phone, half a tank of gas, it was raining out, and of course, I was going to take this ride alone. It was June 17th of 2023, and as I lay in a hospital bed, connected to various machines with tubes, I had anxiety, fear, hopelessness, despair, and isolation, and these were just a few of the thoughts racing through my mind. But the truth is, I had a bigger problem. I was starving to death. You see, throat cancer had all but made eating impossible. And my once 6 foot 2 inch, 240 pound frame was now down to a scant 123 pounds. We'll just call this the low point. Looking back now, I understand why the doctors didn't or couldn't give me specifics about my journey, except to say that it would be difficult and long. They did, however, give me one piece of advice that turned out to be the holy grail for my recovery. They said, find something you love doing, something you're passionate about, something that is uniquely you, and make doing that again your goal.
I bet you'd never guess what came to my mind in that moment. But at that point, I was still frail, weak, and could barely get out of a hospital bed alone. But somehow, I had to get back to the former me.
I didn't know it then, but all my time riding motorcycles had infused into me some key mental tools and experience. I had done this kind of thing before. Long journey with unknown twists and turns of an undetermined length and complexity, fraught with highs and lows of both a mental and physical nature. Not to mention one in which your very life hangs in the balance along the way. Well, yeah, I've done that. Without question, motorcycling was the blueprint for my recovery, and the goal I would set for myself would be to take a trip on my bike again. After all, if I could achieve a 1,500 mile or so trip alone on a motorcycle, I will have achieved both a physical and mental state equal to my former self. That's target acquired.
On January 22nd, 2024, I woke up one last time at 4:30 a.m. to drive myself to the hospital to get my last radiation treatment. During this time, I had been taking chemotherapy and had a surgery to boot. It had been a long 6 months to this point, but the rest of the recovery was up to me, and somehow I felt really good about that. I hadn't tasted food in months because I could only eat via a feeding tube, and that didn't matter. The radiation had destroyed my taste buds anyway. My hair was falling out, was losing my hearing. I could not lay flat or on my side, so I hadn't slept in a bed since day one. But you know, it's just like a long road trip. The halfway point always seems to give you some kind of a boost, that sense of, yeah, I can do this.
I would spend the next 6 months learning to eat again, putting on weight, building strength and stamina. Some evenings I would slip out into the garage and sit on one of my bikes and plan my all too imminent escape, just months away. I started to ride again too. My first ride since treatment was only about 20 minutes long. Nothing special, just a little ride around my town. But man, it was the best thing since sliced bread. Then, daily or really every time I got the chance, I would jump out on the bike and just ride. Each time a little longer, a little further. By this point, a familiar feeling of preparation and anticipation of the forthcoming ride had replaced those feelings of fear and anxiety of the unknown I had last year. I still had a lot of ground to cover, but at this point it was no longer if, but when. And that when would turn out to be almost 1 year to the day since I was diagnosed. On June 14th, 2024, I woke up at 4:35 a.m., quietly slipped into the garage and pushed the start button and launched that ride. That first day, I was 15 and a half hours in the saddle, covering just under 600 miles. And over the next 8 days, I visited with family and friends, and whenever I could, I snuck out and just rode that bike. I had a blast. When I got home, my bike had an additional 1,623 miles on it. Mission accomplished. Not bad for a 60-year-old cancer patient. Life is short. And in a way, I feel lucky to have been brought up when I was. Maybe that made it easier for me to decide to ride motorcycles. Growing up in the 60s and 70s was a different time. We couldn't access the myriad of technological tools and content that exist today. If we wanted to know what something was like, we couldn't pick up a phone and watch a video about it and be told what to think. We just went out and did it. Motorcycling gave me a lifetime of fun and memories, and along the way, taught me some invaluable lessons. Sure, I paid for it with a little blood, skinned body parts, sore back, stiff neck, numb fingers. But when I fell into the darkest place I had ever been, the light at the end of the tunnel was crystal clear, and the path to freedom I needed to take was one I'd felt I had taken many times before.
Hey guys, I really appreciate you watching this video, all the way to the end too. Hey, if you got any comments or suggestions, please leave them below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching.